Hey guys, and happy holidays. I'm a Ben 10 fan, but you probably couldn't tell from my rare use of it as content. Recently, OR Ash from Inktank, the biggest Ben 10 channel on YouTube, has started a series where he gives ultimate forms to aliens that didn't have them previously and redesigns some he does not like Cannonbolt and Wildmutt, which he did an amazing job of, by the way. Ultimates have been my favorite part of Ben 10 since as long as I can remember. It was pretty much giving a Mega Evolution to a Ben 10 alien. Giving something familiar yet different, except in Echo Echo's case where he much becomes a different alien, which I'm all for because it's my favorite ultimate. Now, my all-time favorite Ben 10 alien is Big Chill. I don't care what anyone says, shapeshifting is the best power of all time. But a close second for me has always been Ice. There's no rhyme or reason to I just like the power of Ice. So, I like Big Chill, and we do not talk about Omniverse. But what's almost as bad is Big Chill's ultimate form. There was this thing that happened when they were designing the ultimates, where Swampfire, Humongousaur, Echo Echo, and Spider Monkey got cool new revamped forms, while Cannonbolt, Wildmutt, and Big Chill got a color swap, a few extra details, and they called it an ultimate. Way-Big was the middle ground for this, but I don't really care about it. But Big Chill is one of Ben's best aliens, and he deserved a lot better because the powers are pretty much underwhelming. He keeps all of his powers, but gains the ability to drain the heat from a target. It pretty much rendering them completely in a frozen state at absolute zero. Or
Fire so cold it burns.
I need to watch Alien Force again because that scene, when I was looking it up, was pretty awesome. But anyway, back to what I was complaining about. The fire aspect made no sense to me. It's not firepower, it's just colder ice. Enough ranting. OR Ash says there's a few rules, that there needs to be a power trade-off. Something needs to be gained, but first we need to lose something. I sort of disagree, and I sort of not disagree. Because when an alien has like one main power, like super speed, like Accelerate has, it gains another power. But if it has one power and a secondary power, then it'll lose the secondary power in exchange for a new power. Like, what? Yeah, like Echo Echo. Its main power was its Sonic Scream ability, and its secondary power was its duplication. It loses its duplication to gain the whole drone disc thing, and keeps its Supersonic Scream ability. Unlike in Wildmutt's case, it pretty much keeps everything, but now it can talk for some reason. Anyway, let's just get into the video. This has been a long enough intro. So immediately I started fumbling around with ideas. The face looked very scuffed because in my first few sketches, because of my skill level, they were really bad. But I digress. The fire and ice aspect wasn't terrible, but it needed some tuning up to it. So then I thought of, how can I make Big Chill shoot fire? Then I realized, why not give it a whole feedback water hazard thing? That'll be important later. This form can swipe heat from objects, leaving them very cold at absolute zero, like its original could do. But this time, he can take that heat and just shoot it right back at you like a fire blast. With the big cannon for arms. I felt a little nervous about going in the chunky direction, because we all know how that ended up last time. But I think I ended up in a better spot than that. I wanted to make it more bug-like, but then I realized that's just copying Spider Monkey, but making it more of a moth. I decided to keep the moth inspiration, but make it more, like tone it down a little more. So I didn't give it the spider-like legs that you're gonna see in a minute. I tried fumbling around with the wings, and then I tried fumbling around with the antenna, and that just started to feel weird. So eventually, I just scrapped it and tried going for something better. better, and I gave it its legs back at some point. It still has its ice powers. It helps keep it cool, as it now carries heat via fur and firepower. And since it has fur now, instead of that exoskeleton it had as its regular form, it can't phase anymore. So it gains the firepower in order to lose its phase power, which now that I think about it, kind of functions less, because now that it's bigger, it would need a phase a lot more, or because yeah. But maybe I can make it like super malleable, but I don't think that. I think that's also another power I'd have to give it. But yeah, in Omniverse, I feel like they could have just given Big Chill's limbs more equality, because it just has a big body and then just small gangly limbs. Here, I gave it a big body, big legs, and a big forearms. Well, I think big front arms. I thought of giving it more arms to help sell the bug thing, but it just didn't work out. So I added white to the design to give it more of the ghostly feel that Big Chill is known for, despite it losing its ghost power. But the white really helped it differentiate itself from the original, and I actually really like the color scheme. It reminds me a little bit of Big Hero 6 for some reason. But here it is, Ultimate Big Chill. We got firepower, actual firepower, and we lost our cloaking ability. Okay, now Feedback is an alien that's Arc was cool, powers are cool, and it's just an all-around cool alien. So I wanted to give it an ultimate. It didn't get one in Omniverse via Albedo, and I'm glad for that, because all the new ultimates in Omniverse were just edgified versions of the ultimates, because now that Albedo was the only one who could become ultimate aliens, they had to make them all bad and scary for the bad guy. So Wrath had to become Kraven the Hunter, or Artiguana had to get a mustache and two tails for some reason. And yeah. I wanted to change his powers to where he could absorb electricity still, but instead of shooting electricity, it just powered up his physical attacks. Like, he can now punch super hard, he can jump super fast and run super fast, and he could just acrobat himself around everywhere just super fast. Look, I wanted him to be partially inspired by Luck from Black Clover, but I forgot to keep him in the thing, so out of sight, out of mind, and I just focused on upper body strength. And it ended up with a bit of a monkey feel to it, and don't worry, I don't keep the big chin. You don't know what that means yet, but you will. I gave it wire dreadlocks. I always knew I was going to do that, because what else are you going to do with the wires on the top of its head? I saw the 5YL version of Feedback, and I don't really like it too much. Sorry, but yeah. I put a hoodie over it to, like, hide the dreadlocks, because I knew it wasn't going to look good if I just had the dreadlocks out all the time. And yeah, that the hoodie actually gave it a more hacker feel to it, which is kind of fitting. It doesn't hack anything now that it's not tech based. It steals electricity and energy and just uses it to power up its physical strength. And when I started coloring this, I didn't like the monkey motif, and then I didn't like it even more because I realized I was just designing it to be Spider Monkey. And yeah, I tried to get away. I ended up getting away from that with a color scheme that I like a lot better. I didn't want it to be white because I already made Big Chill white, but I couldn't avoid it, so that's what we got. Here is Ultimate Feedback. It's actually my favorite thing I think I've drawn all year. So yeah, those were my ultimates for Christmas. And again, happy holidays to you guys. Subscribe, or at the very least like, so the YouTube algorithm can push this video out to people who want to subscribe. And have a happy holidays, and see y'all next year.